Hello everyone, this is Carlos with House of Tennis, and in this video I will break down the serve in 7 simple steps. The serve is by far the most important shot in tennis, so this video is made for players of all ages and levels that want to start with great technique from scratch, or if you want to fix the errors that you might currently have in your serve. First step is the grip. For your serve, you want the continental grip for 2 reasons. The first one is that the continental grip allows you to hit different spins. You can hit flat serves, you can hit slices, and you can hit topspin serves with the continental grip. The second reason is that it allows you to pronate on contact. To find the continental grip, just put the racket perpendicular to the ground in front of you, and your dominant hand, put it on the strings of the racket. Then slide it all the way down, and it should feel like you're shaking hands with the racket. Now, if you're familiar with the bevels of the racket, which is 8 bevels, the top one is bevel number 1. So you want to put your index finger and the pad of your hand on bevel number 2. Now, you hit the serve with a continental grip, but you also hit volleys, overheads, slices. Even the two-handed back in your bottom hand is on a continental grip. So if you're new to this grip, you want to start with simple drills like bouncing the ball on the ground with a continental grip. If you get good at that, then just go with the opposite part of the racket and start controlling it. If you have a partner, you can always do a volley exercise. And if you don't, you can always do a little bit of volley against the wall. Just try to become creative, to try to come up with ways to feel comfortable with this grip. The second step is the stance. For your stance, you want your front foot in a diagonal facing the post. You want your back foot behind the front foot, but parallel to the baseline. The third step is the ritual. The ritual is very important for 2 reasons. The first one is that it buys you time in between first and second serves, and it buys you time in between points. The second reason is that it allows you to regain your focus in between points. Now, the ritual is optional. You can bounce the ball with your hand, you can bounce it with your racket, or you can come up with a combination of both. Pretty much just come up with something that feels comfortable to you and then just apply it. However, you do want to make sure that it's consistent, and you want to make sure that you use your ritual to refocus before each point. The fourth step is the toss and the take back. Now for your toss, you want to hold the ball on top of your fingers. Make sure you're not holding the ball too tight around your fingers, or that's going to cause you to toss the ball behind you. Now, when it comes down to your arm, you want to keep it straight as you toss the ball. Releasing the ball, you want to release it on your forehead level or a little bit past your forehead, okay? Now, placing the toss differs on what kind of serve you're trying to hit. So if you're trying to hit a first serve, your best toss will be like around 1 o'clock and in front of you. So 12 will be right on top of my head. 1 o'clock in front of me is the perfect toss for a first serve. If you want to hit a second serve, then you can toss the ball a little bit farther behind you so that you can come up with a good topspin serve. Now for your take back, you have 3 different types. You could have a full take back, you could have a semi-abbreviated take back, or you could have an abbreviated take back. So it doesn't matter what the take back is. You want to get to this position where your dominant arm is slightly bent with the racket facing up. Try to avoid putting the elbow too close to your body or your arm fully extended. You want to go again and going straight into that bend, and your non-dominant arm or your tossing arm, you want it straight pointing at the ball with your hip out. The 5th step is the load. You can have a platform load or you can have a pinpoint load. This is optional too. The platform load is that you keep your feet in the same position as your stance. So as you toss the ball, you keep the feet in that same position. The pinpoint load, you usually bring that back foot forward together with that front foot. I've seen players keeping a little bit of a gap in between, but that's still a pinpoint load. Play around, find which one feels better to you. However, for the load, you do want to keep your hip out. You want to make sure that you're bending your knees and your dominant shoulder has to be below the non-dominant shoulder. This is what's really going to create the leverage and the power on your serve. The sixth step is the body rotation and the point of contact. It's very important that you understand the biomechanics of the throwing motion. You want to start with your body sideways, with your elbow out and your hand out. Now, as you rotate your body, your hand goes towards you and turns in. And as you release the ball, you want your hand to pronate out with your arm fully extended. Practice a few throws until you get that nice throwing motion comfortable. Try it with the racket. Without the ball, just go into the hand out, rotate hand in, hand out. Out, in, out. After a little while, you should develop that nice smooth arm. Now in tennis, you want to be fully extended so you can maximize your height. Now when it comes down to the rotation and contact, it's optional if you want to rotate on the ground or if you want to rotate out of the air. If you're new to the game, I recommend to rotate on the ground. So you're going to do the same motion, but instead of jumping, you're just going to rotate and transfer your weight forward, keeping your foot on the ground. Now, if this motion already feels comfortable, feel free to start adding a jump. Now, the jump is just going to give you extra power. You're going to get more leverage from the legs. So it's the same concept. You start sideways, you jump and twist in the air. Now, try to avoid the two common errors on rotations. I've seen players where they bring their body forward too early and then they hit the ball, and that puts a lot of stress on the shoulders. Also, try to avoid hitting the ball sideways and then rotating. So you want to make sure that you transfer your weight forward exactly when you meet up the ball. This takes a little repetition, a little practice, but in no time, you'll get more comfortable with it. The seventh and last step is the finish or the follow-through. Now, if you rotate on the ground, then you're going to finish with your right leg inside the baseline. You want to make sure that you recover back as soon as you finish the serve so you're ready for the next ball. However, if you like to jump and rotate in order to generate more power, then you're going to land with the front leg inside and your right leg is going to kick back. There's a quote that I dislike a lot, and it says that practice makes perfect. I believe that practice makes permanent. So if you work on your serve or any other stroke the right way, it will turn into muscle memory that is going to help you.